Hello everyone. So today we are going to talk about how DHCP works, which is a very crucial topic on a very basic level, but holds a very significant value in a network engineering job, and you will be able to understand how the DHCP actually works in theory and the practical as well. We'll not be doing any configuration, but we'll understand the process behind the DHCP, how it works, how the data travels, and so on and so forth. First of all, what is DHCP? DHCP is a protocol which is used to automatically assign IP addresses to the clients or users. So previously, if you know, when you open a PC or mobile or anything and try to connect it to internet or your local network, the main requirement is it must have an IP address, valid IP address, a subnet mask, a default gateway, and DNS. Okay, these four things are required: IP address, which look like this. Let's suppose 192.168.10.1. Okay, this is the IP address. It look like this. I'm not telling you. Okay. Now, I'm assuming if you are learning DHCP, I'm assuming that you know what is an IP address, okay, and how it's, what is this 4-octet 192.168.10.10, because this is a private IP which can be used in a local network. Okay. Now, along with this, we need the subnet mask. Subnet mask. Okay. We see something like this: 255.255.0. Okay, or you can say /24. Okay, /24. We can either write like this or write like this. Okay, in some machines, some PCs or some routers or switches, we can do /24 as well, but most of the time we have to write it like this. This is a class C IP address. Okay, then we have default gateway. What is default gateway? Suppose default gateway is something which is requires to enter maybe a house of IP address. Let's suppose the house of IP address name is 192.168.10. something. Star means something. Okay, this is class C. So this is the house. Okay, in this house we have around 254 usable IP. Okay, here one will be used as a gateway. Okay, in this house dot one, here dot one is used as a gateway to enter this house. Okay, so the entire house of network or house of IP address is represented by 1. So to go out of the network, the inside IP also needs the default gateway. Gateway means like it's a gateway to go out from the shell of the IP address, or you can say house of the IP address. In this house we have 254 members. One is the gateway, one is the gateway, and we can use it to go out of the network. Okay, I'm assuming you know IP address and subnet mask and default gateway. If you don't, then please chat GPT. It's a very easy topic, and I'll be creating a separate video for this as well. Okay, what is IP address and what is these things. But let's understand this IP address. Okay, what is DHCP? Then we have default gateway, which is 192.168.10.1. We're taking one as a default gateway. Then this is the main thing which we require. Okay, but we also have something called DNS, domain name system, DNS, which will be 8.8.8.8, which is a very famous DNS server, 8.8.8 Google. Most of the time in internet, while using internet, you will be using 8.8.8.8 or 1.1.1.1. Both are from Google. Okay, they are Google DNS servers. So this is the information we need to connect, to get the access of internet or your local network, if you have something local or not. Okay, let's suppose we have 10 PC in our local system. Okay, 10 PC. So it is easy, you can go to 10 PC each, then you have to just increase the number of IP like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. till whatever you want. The subnet mask will be the same, default gateway will be the same, DNS server will be same. You can manually type it. Okay, you have to type this, 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 and change the IP address because it should be unique for every user. Okay, 20 PC is okay, we can do it. What about 50 PC? It is manageable, we can hire more people. What about 200 PC? And what about 500 PC? Then it will be disastrous. Because then for 500 PC we have to go to 500 PC every time and then manually type IP address in each of them. This will be very hectic to typing IP addresses to each of them. For that we created something called DHCP, which is dynamic host configuration protocol. As the name implies, it is a dynamic, which is like automatic. Host configuration, like it is used for host configuration. Protocol is a protocol. Like this is a protocol which is dynamic and used for host configuration. Okay, host configuration means like to configure the host of the clients in the which is PC, mobile, or any other device which is using internet, which can use internet. So dynamic host configuration protocol, which is DHCP, is a UDP based protocol. Okay, which means like it sends, throws data. It is not like TCP, we have to create connection, nothing. It's normal protocol, UDP level. It uses very normal behavior of human. Like, for example, what it does is, let's suppose this is a PC. Okay, this is PC. Someone sitting on this PC, and this is new PC. Okay, we started this PC. Okay, let's suppose we have this internet. This is our internal system of our site, and it is connected to this computer. Okay, this switch is connected to this computer. We start this computer, we go to the setting of this computer, and we turn on the dynamic setting. Okay, dynamic setting or DHCP setting. That yes, I am setting it to dynamic mode. Okay, like dynamically fetch the IP. What will happen when you do this is the main thing, which is like very crucial. You will be asked a lot of time in interview as well. What they'll do, they'll say, explain DHCP, how it's done, the process of DHCP. So the process is called DORA process. DORA. D stands for discover, O stands for offer, R for request, and A for acknowledgement. Okay, this is the process of DORA, which is the most crucial question you will be asked if you are applying for entry level job in networking. What is DORA process? So DORA process is, when we turn on the dynamic mode, the PC will scream or will do a broadcast. You know broadcast. There are three type of cast. One is unicast, means one PC is directly talking to another PC, direct talk. One to one is unicast, like aimed talk. Then we have multicast, like one PC is directly talking to multiple PC, but not all. Like, know this, multiple PC, but not all. Let's suppose we have 4 PC in other side. This PC will be talking to 3 PC, but not all. So this is called multicast. It is also aimed, but multiple aim. Okay. But then we have the broadcast. Broadcast means it will scream, and every PC in the entirety of the network will be hit by this packet. Okay. So again, when we put the dynamic mode on in this PC, it will do a broadcast to the network. So every PC which is inside a network, every server, every device, internet enabled device which is inside network will be hit by this broadcast message. And what is this broadcast message? It's a discover broadcast. And how it's done? It will be sent upon this MAC address of FF, like it will be like a MAC address, but everything is FFF. Okay, it's about broadcast MAC address. Let's suppose. Okay, it will literally say, hey, I need an IP address. Is there any DHCP server in the network? So as you know, this device also has the DHCP data, which we have to configure it as well. The configuration is a separate thing. We can do configuration GUI based and CLI based depending upon the vendor we are using, but the concept will be the same. The DORA process is like normal. Okay, it will ask that, is there any DHCP server inside this network? Let's suppose this is the DHCP server. Okay, it will say yes. Then the process of O will come, offer. This machine will check that we have the DHCP server in ourselves, and we have this IP address which is free. In its pool, it will check the IP address, and then it will offer an IP address to this PC that, hey, I am the DHCP server and I have this IP. Okay, and this message will be unicast. Okay, unicast directly aimed to the concerned PC. Then again, this PC will do a broadcast with request. The DORA third R. DORA request will be broadcast. Why broadcast? Because what if there are multiple server DHCP server in the network and they are all sending data? It will be like disastrous. So it has to be broadcast. In the request data packet, there is something which will tell other DHCP servers that I already have IP address. Please stop sending any data to me. That's why it is broadcast. This will receive a message that yes, he is asking for the IP address, and then this will acknowledge the request and sends the IP address and the data along with it. What information will be sent? Will be this. Okay, this information. It will send IP address, subnet mask, the default gateway, and DNS server, and will be automatically configured to the PC. And that's it. You are now internet enabled. Simple, right? Now, few more things about DORA process. First, as I've already told you, it's the UDP protocol. Very important. What if there is no DHCP server? What if there is no DHCP server in the network? Then what will happen? It will keep sending the discover request, or will it stop? So here we have this thing called APIPA. Okay, this APIPA is a subnet of IP address which something look like this, 69 something. When you see this in your IP address, this represents that there is no DHCP server in your network, or something is wrong with your DHCP server in your network. The APIPA IP address will be like this. Okay, when you see this in your IP address, it means DHCP server, something is wrong with your DHCP server, or it is not there. Like the PC is not able to reach the DHCP server. Okay, this is the APIPA IP address. One more thing, the ports used by this DHCP protocol is, because every protocol must use some port. The fixed port for this protocol is 67, 68. Why 67S? This is used by server and 68 is used by clients. For example, this PC will use 68 number port and the server will be using 67 number port. Okay, so this is all the basic how DORA process work. Okay, so this is it, the complete procedure of DORA process, how it's done. And if you have any question, you can leave comment and I'll explain to you. There are some confusions, I know, and we can clear it on comment section and live classes as well. Okay, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.